Hello everyone, this is Ninja Girl Second One here, back with another Sailor Moon Crystal review. Today we of course got Act, again you could consider it 32 or 33, or actually 33 or 34 because of course the first act of this season was split into 2 episodes, and it was titled 3 Soldiers, and boy did a lot of plot happen in this episode, or I should say a lot to advance the story, the plot of the season. And it of course started out where the previous one left off, with Chibiusa and Pluto reuniting, and that was adorable. Chibiusa can't even believe that Pluto is there, and Pluto explains it's only because of Neo Queen Serenity that she was allowed to be there, and Uranus and Neptune are of course with her now, and something happens that makes Usagi transform into Princess Serenity in front of them. My guess is it's because the 3 outer senshi are in front of her and it made the silver crystal react. I'm guessing that's why. I don't even think the manga explained that particular thing. So I think that's got to be the reason though. And they actually kneel in front of Princess Serenity, Usagi, and apologize for kind of being rude toward her, and tell her it's basically because they wanted to handle this situation with the Deathbusters on their own, and by the time they had awoken, they had already invaded, and they just didn't want to put Usagi or the Inner Senshi in any unnecessary danger. Usagi, of course, just says, we're on the same side and we should fight together to handle this, but they adamantly say, no, let us handle it, we have stronger powers, and we do learn that the Outer Senshi's items, the Garnet Rod, the Deep Aqua Mirror, and the Space Sword are of course the 3 talismans that are supposed to bring about the deity of destruction and all that. But yeah, they still insist that they handle this whole situation on their own. So yeah, they then skip ahead to the next day with Usagi and Chibiusa getting ready for school, and we see Kenji watching the news. And when Chibiusa and Usagi go by, or Chibiusa is having her breakfast and about to leave, they see Professor Tomoe on the screen. And Kenji actually knows him, and knows that he was some kind of expert in genetic research or something. So, yeah. They then go to the hideout, and we actually see a picture of Hotaru's mom, somebody who wasn't even shown at all in the 90s anime Sailor Moon S. And yeah, they actually decide to assign Chibiusa a little mission of her own, to keep an eye on Hotaru. At first she's kind of hesitant because Hotaru is her new best friend, and it kind of be like betraying or sort of lying to her, kind of. But in the end, she does agree to do it because she is a sailor soldier. So yeah, so that's some good development for her. So yeah, and then later on, they actually, Chibiusa and Hotaru do agree to go and meet and go to the movies or something. Meanwhile, of course, Professor Tomoe is in his lab with Kaola Knight, and he's complaining about how the Witches 5 have failed and that she shouldn't get distracted and she needs to focus on getting hosts for Pharaoh 90 and finding this source of light that's as bright as the Teoran crystal and all that. So yeah, she ends up assigning Cyprin for the task of 1, finding host, and finding the 2 students that ran away from Mugen Academy. She doesn't know about Setsuna, but yeah. So yeah, Cyprin is the main villain of the episode. Meanwhile, Chibiusa goes to try and meet Hotaru, but she's an hour late. She's not there to go to the movies. So she decides to go ahead and try calling her. And before this, actually, we see that Hotaru has some kind of surgical mask on her face to help her for anesthesia to go to sleep. But anyway, when Hotaru doesn't answer the phone, though, she decides wait a minute, this could mean that she's hurt or in pain and something is wrong, so I better go to her house and check up on her. So she makes her way there. And when she does, she sees something that she probably should not have seen, and that is that Hotaru has bionic limbs. I think it's just her arm and leg, but this is something cut out from Sailor Moon S. Hotaru is in fact a cyborg because during the accident, which Hotaru mentioned to Chibiusa before, there was a fire and she ended up losing her mom, and she and her dad were the only survivors. So, and in order to allow her to live, basically she had to get these bionic implants. And yeah, when Chibiusa sees it, she kind of freaks out and runs off. And Hotaru, the next scene with her, oh my gosh, it pulls at your heartstrings so bad because she's kind of ashamed of her body the way it is, and just like, I can't stand it. I don't even know why I'm alive or why I should be, and she just feels so depressed, and it's so sad. Oh my gosh, if you thought her side of the story in Sailor Moon S was sad and heart-wrenching, oh my god, this was, oh. And then we see Chibiusa feeling horrible about running off like that because she knows it was kind of wrong to run away in shock like that. So she starts wondering, what in the world should I do? Should I go back? What can I do to make this better? Because I really hurt her. So, yeah, but then she notices some strange hail falling from the sky, and so do Usagi and Mamoru. And it's affecting everyone around Chibiusa and Usagi and Mamoru. They start fighting. Chibiusa was actually a little bit affected, but of course, since she's protected by the silver crystal, it didn't affect her the same way. And she meets up with her parents, of course, and yeah, they then go to the hideout and meet up with the Inners, and they then notice that Cyprin has made her way to Haruka and Michiru's apartment where they live, because that was part of her job, track them down. So at first the Inner Senshi don't want to go and help them, but Usagi says, we are going to help them, we're on the same side here, they need help, let's go, basically. So while the fight's going on between the Outers and Cyprin, they do eventually get there and try to help out. The Outer Senshi are, of course, kind of upset that they showed up and don't want them there. Then Cyprin does something that is kind of shocking. She, of course, reveals her twin, Pitilal, and ends up turning the Inner Senshi and the Outer Senshi against each other. So they start fighting each other. I think even Neptune uses submarine reflection. She doesn't call it out, but I think that's what it is. And of course this greatly upsets Usagi, and she does not want this going on. She wants everybody to get along and knows that deep down these two teams, they do not hate each other because the Outers have helped them several times. And she knows this is not how they really feel. It's just Cyprin and Pitilal's magic. So, yeah. And, of course, Chibiusa and Mamoru, they know that too, and actually, they put their hands on top of the other and kind of combine their hearts. And something starts to appear. Many of you will know what it is, especially if you have seen Sailor Moon S and or read the manga, obviously. And that's where the episode ends, and I was hoping it wouldn't, but it did. But man, what an episode. Really, really good. Holy cow. So much happened, and that ending scene, when you know what it is, it's such a tease, but oh, so good. I love the stuff with Chibiusa and Hotaru. I love their friendship so much. And yeah, this episode kind of showed that it wasn't a perfect friendship. And Chibiusa does want to make up for running off the way she did. But anyway, that will happen soon enough. But the outer senshi, just everything that happened, and that ending scene though, that is probably the coolest thing. As far as the animation, to me it again seems solid. I noticed maybe a couple shots that were a little meh, but overall it was pretty good, I guess. And next episode, we get Super Sailor Moon. Yes, I love Super Sailor Moon. It's going to be so freaking cool. I can't wait for that. But in the meantime, I hope you enjoyed my review. It's a very good episode. Definitely check it out if you have not yet. And yeah, I guess till next Monday, I will see you guys later.